just doing some color blocking to get started on the zombie, the ClubHead zombie, just in a neutral grey color from Montmartre. So this is one of the first videos that I'm doing with the brand new setup. So the headcam is gone. There are a couple of issues as to why it just did not work for me. The main and primary reason is that I couldn't control the zoom easily. The way I had it connected to my computer, my MacBook Pro, which I used to have kind of sitting next to me, that's gone too now, don't need that there, was that it had a cable, a USB-C cable, and that kind of connection setup meant it had limited functions. It just kind of worked as as like almost a webcam. So because of that, I couldn't control the zoom easily. There is an app which they have, an AudPro app, which did allow you to connect to the camera and run it through that, but then I had issues with setting up the audio recording, because like I could record the audio on my computer, but then it would all be out of sync with the video and it was just going to be way too hard. The other issue that I just had a lot of problems trying to resolve was the amount of movement for the end result for you guys and gals. So I was just not happy with the amount of head movement, and if I had used the app and zoomed in, it would have been even worse because you're focusing more and then you're shifting that focus. So yeah, it was a problem. So in the end, I decided I needed to go back to the drawing board and rethink exactly what I was doing, how I wanted this setup to work. So I watched a few different videos and setups. The one that actually convinced me in the end of how to go was a lady. Sorry, apologies, I forget her YouTube name, but she does like nails and cosmetic stuff and crafty stuff, and has a setup that she did a recent update on how she runs her studio, and she had a very different sort of setup, a hugely expensive DSLR Sony camera, but the concepts of how she had it overhead looking down, going through like a ring light, I'm like, okay, that's definitely a better setup than what I had. So hence why I've decided to switch things to a top-down view. So I've ended up getting the AudPro camcorder, and there's a couple of advantages. I mean, first off, straight away, I can adjust the zoom from the camcorder, so that part is all excellent. And I no longer need the MacBook Pro, and to do that, this thing has a SD card on it, and on my main computer, my Mac Studio, it has a SD card slot, so I can record straight on the thing and just take it to my computer and put the SD card in. So that's very convenient. I find that'll work, much easier than what I was doing before. It was basically do everything on the laptop, then take it to the studio, and then get it all sorted on the studio. So it was a two-part process. Whereas now it's just going to be take the SD card to the computer and edit it straight away. So that part's going to be a lot easier and simpler for me. I have played around with a couple of microphones that I have. One that came with it when I bought it, and one was the lapel mic that I had previously been using. But to be honest, I seem to be getting the best results just straight out of the camcorder's inbuilt default mic. So that's what I'm running with at the moment, though that may change in the future. But I just love the fact that, you know, I'm not needing to wear the helmet. It's not a shaky view for you guys and girls. It's more focused on the area of the model and zoomed in, so you should be able to get see some better detail. And yeah, so hopefully it's all around a better experience for everyone. Because you know, I want this to be reasonably immersive, and that just was not happening, I think, with the headcam, the way it was all set up. So hopefully this is progress. Anyway, that is the zombie skin. So the head and the hands, he's in a suit and that, so the cloth and the other items I'll need to do separately. I'm going to give him black hair, I think, so I don't really need to worry too much about that at this stage, but yeah, it's looking alright. Okay, just going to work on the stop sign using a brilliant red colour by Mart. It's term, not mine. Got two brushes here. Going to try and be somewhat careful with the lettering because well, we'll see how we go, but yeah, obviously I want to keep the stop actually in white, and yeah, red going over that is going to be a little bit of a problem. So detailed brush to start. Oh yeah, that's going to be very thin. Space there, but that's alright, you get the idea. We'll do as good as we can, and then and this is not the final white anyway, it's just a Mart starter to white colour block it, and we'll prep it. But, then I'll just finish off with a medium brush once I've done this lettering. The T doesn't really go to the right, but that's not my doing, that's just the design of the club head, that's the way it's done. But, yeah. Traditional colours for a stop sign, red and white. Okay, so now that's done, I will switch over to a larger brush. The hole in the back of it I'll do in like a tin gunmetal sort of colour. But having put the white coat down first to prepare it, it's the red is looking pretty nice and popping, as will his suit. The colour scheme, as I've said before, it's all kind of designed to look cute and fun, not like a scary version of a zombie. So he'll be colourfully dressed. The garbage can I'll probably do in the same colour, like a gunmetal sort of style. But anyway, that's a very nice and bright stop sign. We're going to work on the zombie again. You're going to use this green fluoro game color by Vallejo. So, you know, obviously very bright and shiny and popping. Going to try and be a little bit careful with this, so reasonably fine brush, because I want to avoid the shirt and the tie. There's also might be a little bit hard even zoomed in the way it is, but there is a bit of a tear around his pants. So I'm just going to do the top and bottom same colour. I'm not going to do them different colours, although I will do the shoes a different colour. So I'm not painting the shoes today. But, fluoro paints typically do take a few coats to get a good consistency, and that's, you know, that's fine. Also, you know, as you can see here, it's quite obvious. I've painted the model white, 2 coats of white, just to give it a good backdrop for the fluoro to work and do its thing. I'll try not to get any on the fire hydrant though, because I'm also using a fluoro-y colour, a red on that, very different to the stop sign red. So definitely do not want to have to do touch-up work there if I can avoid it. Like if I got anything on the red there, it's no pain, no problem, because you know, I can just do a touch-up with the red. But if I get any on the hydrant, not that I'm trying to jinx myself into doing that, I don't care about any on the boots, by the way, because that's going to be a solid brown, sort of leathery shoe colour. Maybe even a little black around the bottom for the sole. But yes, so if I got any on the hydrant, then that would be a couple of coats of white and then the reds, a couple of coats. So yeah, let's not do that. Maybe I should have started from the back, because that'll give you a better idea of the colour and how it's going to work. It's a nice big wide open surface. Now there are a couple of tears I see in here as well, so I'll try and leave the white. I was just going to have the shirt as either just plain white or maybe like a light pastel sort of colour. Maybe even a pastel pink. That might work, because I was thinking to do a purple tie. So yeah, let's see how we go. For those of you that watch my Goblin Rider videos, riding his 2 boars, I ended up giving him like an apron skirt of this really deep purple. It's a beautiful colour, and so anyway, I thought I might use that for the tie. It's yeah, it's going to work better having the whitewash there as well, because it's a pretty finicky sort of colour. Yeah, it marks easily, so if you like hold it there when you're painting something else, even though it's dry, it kind of tends to wear the purple very thin, so leave some marks and smudges and stuff. Once again, with the hands, if I do get some fluoro on there, that's no big deal. It will be easy to fix. I had actually planned, like this is just colour blocked in grey, I had actually planned to put another grey on as the final colour. But I actually really kind of like this neutral grey colour, so I'm thinking maybe I might even just leave it as that, as the neutral grey. I think it works quite well for like decayed flesh. Yeah, we'll definitely need a few coats to get it looking awesome, but it's not a big deal. A shiny green coat. I did actually, somehow, I have no idea how I did it, I did get a bit of red on the side of his face, and it looks awesome, like a blood splatter across his face, and I was like, oh, I should keep that there or add more. And I had to remind myself, no, Bubble, this is supposed to be cute and friendly. If you give them like mouths dripping with blood, that's no longer keeping it in the cute and friendly stage. That's definitely taking it to more of an adult kind of grim style. So I was like, ah, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. That's against the thing. But so I will touch that up and get rid of it, even though I think it looks really, really cool. Alright. Right, there's more. There's kind of like a dot, a hole, a tear there as well, and there's another one on the back. So I do have quite a few areas. Like there's the knee, there's a dot there, there's the two tears, but there's also a dot there where it's kind of like torn. So I'm just gonna stick with what the original designer of the model had for this and keep those as tears. I'll let that dry and then I'll give it at least one other coat. I'm thinking it will probably be 2. Okay, so the plan is now to work on some of the redder colors and also the gunmetal. So I'm using model color transparent red for the fire hydrant, AK dark brown for the shoes, and then the trash can and pipe holding the stop sign are going to be done in game color gunmetal. But I'll do the gunmetal last. I'll do the red-brown palette stuff first. Okay, so not going to take a long time to do the shoes. Obviously, a very small area. I'm going to do the very, very bottom of the black. It will be interesting with this new setup to hear if there's any dog barking in the audio, because I'm not familiar with this new setup with the audio pick up on how sensitive it is, and my neighbour's dog was just going off as soon as I started recording, so I'm not sure whether you're going to hear that or not, but we will see. Not that I think they were going off because I was painting. I can kind of hear someone talking on the street. Sounds like they're on a mobile phone. And we have a very good warning system here with dogs on either side of us and on the back of us. I think there's like 5 dogs that surround this property without one dog being actually in the property. Not that I don't love dogs, I love dogs, but yeah, I still work and my partner still works full time. I'm home a lot these days because I work from home a lot. I only have to go into the city 1 day a week, but my partner only works from home 1 day a week. But anyway, so yeah, we're home a lot between the 2 of us, but we're not home all the time, so I don't think it would be really nice for a dog to be left alone. But we certainly have enough around us. Alright, yes. Shoes. I guess that is shit. Let's clear cut with the design. Oh yeah, that's the right call. Where the trousers stop and the shoe starts. But anyway, okay, that is the shoe. Okay, so actually really happy with how those shoes look. Now let's try the transparent red. Just like the fluoro green, I expect that I may have to do a couple of coats. Although this does seem to be going on a little bit thicker than the green did. So maybe this will just get a second coat, whereas I'm kind of expecting to have to do about 3 coats at least with the green. But wow, that does look like the thumbnail images that I've generated. Is this really bright popping red thumbnail on some of them, and this has fit that bill. Yes, that is very nice. And not to press too hard on the brush. The main thing I don't want to do is flick bright red colour around, because if it gets on the jacket in particular, it's going to really stand out. Straightforward painting something like this, just not much chance of like getting the brush on another area, but you can easily flick the paint. But yes, that was pretty quick and I really like it. I mean, so it's a very different look, although admittedly this has just had one coat so far of its red, but you know, this is obviously more like a fluoro style transparent, so you know, it's going to glow. That's the aim. Anyway, let's get on to the gunmetal. We'll do the gunmetal, which will require medium size brush at this stage. Yes, so nothing too silver-like or dark, just kind of turns it into a metallic look instead of the plain flat colour. So just not happy with that. As long as I don't flick the paint, should be easy enough to do. That's the camera. Now there's a little bit at the top. Be careful where to touch it. doesn't seem to work well enough. Okay, well that's enough for today, I think. So that's the fire hydrant done in its transparent red, the shoes, except for the very bottom part, which are in AK dark brown, so like a leathery brownie kind of look, and the metal done on the trash can and the stop sign. We will leave it there.